How's it going, everybody? My name is Lars, and I'd like to take this opportunity to welcome you to my inaugural video on GenX Matters. Um, First of all, I'd like to introduce myself. My name is Lars, and I am a Gen Xer living in the Midwest, um, just living life. And I always wanted to have a YouTube channel, so I thought to myself, what should I make a channel about? I have no clue. So I started to come up with some ideas, with like topics and subject matter and so forth. And I thought to myself, there's no one thing that I just love so much that I could make content on for a year straight. I couldn't do it. So it's like, okay, well, maybe I shouldn't have a specific topic. It's like, what's the point? If I can't make the content on it, then why even bother to start the channel? So I thought, well, why don't I just have a more of a general type channel that speaks more to the relevance of people my age, and basically contain subjects that I'm interested in at the time. Different times of the year, I'm interested in different things. There's different subjects that I follow, that I study. And, it's like, why not? Why not just have a general channel that has multiple subjects across a broad range of ideas? So that'll give, everybody, you guys, the viewers, an opportunity to, pick and choose what you like to watch. And, hopefully, get some decent information out of it. As I said, I'm located in the Midwest, so my experiences are going to be limited to the Midwest, Illinois area region, and so the things that I do, the things that I'm interested in, are going to be based generally in that area. You might get some videos from me on vacations or something, but who knows? Anyway, so that's kind of the basics of what I'm looking at doing. And the purpose of the channel is to just provide some sort of relevant context, to what I'm experiencing from a Gen X perspective. Us Gen Xers, we are essentially stuck between the old generation of the baby boomers and the millennials, who are, and Zoomers. I think they're called Zoomers now. I have no idea. Anyway, and they're all tech savvy and everything else. And then you've got the boomers who still want to use a rotary phone. And then you got us that are kind of like stuck in the middle, right? So it's like, what are we going to do? What do we have to offer? Well, I really think that we do have a lot to offer. We really gained a lot of experience and knowledge from our boomer parents, and we learned the old ways, and we are also savvy enough to, I guess, grasp onto the new ways of doing things, new technologies, new cell phones and computers and YouTube videos and so forth. So basically that's what I'm looking to do. It's provide relevant content to all my viewers out there from a Gen X perspective, and some of the subjects that I'm looking at making videos on, I guess I'll list them out for you so you know kind of like what to expect, before you go through and like, oh crap, I shouldn't even subscribe to this guy because he's got nothing to talk about. I have no idea what he's talking about. So basically, I do a lot of DIY stuff around the house. I will, fix things up. Try to find cheaper alternatives to doing things. I also create things. When I see something that's needed, I will, make an effort to create something that will fill that void that I need to get filled. And generally that's, done through, woodworking and a lot of duct tape and all sorts of things that probably is not OSHA approved. Anyway, I hope OSHA's not watching this. Anyway, so that's the first part. It's going to be like a DIY type channel. I'm also going to be covering some current event topics, because as Gen Xers, we are still stuck on watching the news. Maybe some of us, you know, the younger generations may just stick to whatever they see on Facebook or Twitter or whatever else. I don't know. But anyway, so there's a lot going on in the world, and I think that a Gen X perspective is kind of important to help everyone else understand how we see things, and there's going to be news. The news things happen every day. So I can't tell you exactly what those topics might be, but different big news items. They're going to be out there, and I may want to comment on those. So you can click on those videos. Maybe I'll hashtag those videos in a certain way to make sure that they'll come up when you're looking for them. But I'll probably get involved in some political discussions here and there. I am not going to be I'm on one side, I'm on the other. I do have political views, but I'm going to try my best to not, come out too much on one side, maybe. I don't know if that's even possible. Who knows? Anyway, but there's things that are happening, and what's my political stance? It's common sense. It's pretty much what it is. It's common sense, and I like to think of myself as a common sense person, and it's just too far on one side, too extreme on the other. It's just whatever. It's a bunch of BS. So I'm going to try to avoid the extreme politics part, but there's still some politics that happen in the news that I think are relevant to each of us today. Boomers, Gen Xers like myself, and millennials, and even the new Zoomers. It's relevant to everybody out there. So I think that those things are going to be important to talk about. In addition to that, I got my degree in politics and law, so really, I'm going to have a lot of things to say about it, I suppose, but I can't remember most of my degree. But sorry, professors. Sorry about that. Anyway, also finance. Not only finance in a world perspective. All the crazy things that happen with banks and all that jazz, but investing. Not that I'm going to be giving advice on investing, but personal finance in common sense ways. How not to spend all of your money on something extremely stupid. So subjects like that. You'll probably see some content out there more historically based. I love the 70s and the 80s. I'm not going to deny it. That was when I was just a youngin', just a little kid growing up. I still have a lot of memories from the 70s and the 80s and the commercials and the TV shows and the lunchboxes and oh Lord, there's just so much from that age that I just absolutely adore. And, I know I can't wear parachute pants anymore, and I can't have a butterfly collar or a pompadour haircut because my wife would kill me. But I do like those things. And so there's probably going to be some videos about stuff like that too, 70s and 80s content. Older ways of doing things. I spent a lot of time with my grandparents. Fortunately, I had my grandparents until I was an adult pretty much. So growing up, having them in my life, it gave me a great opportunity to learn from them, learn some of the old ways of doing things, like canning food. My grandfather would have this tool bench and had like these crazy little jars that he invented that kept all of his screws independent and individual in the garage. And I've never seen anybody do anything like that before. It's like, just doesn't happen. He made it out of baby food jars. It's like, wow, these old ways of doing things really aren't that horrible. It's even on a little spinny thing. So when you need a certain screw, it just kind of spun it, and then you took the jar off, took the screw out you wanted, put the jar back on, and boom, away you went. It was way ahead of its time. It was cool. It was so cool to see that. And they taught me how to garden. They taught me how to take care of a car, at least in a basic sense. I'm not a mechanic or anything like that. But those are subjects that I learned from my grandparents that I want to make sure that don't disappear. I don't forget about them, and I don't want anyone else to forget about them. The older ways of doing things, the simpler ways of doing things, I like that stuff. I really do. So I'm going to be talking about stuff like that. There's probably going to be some history in there too, because I am kind of a history buff. I love talking about history, ancient history. So there's probably going to be some videos on that too. But aside from like the old stuff, I just me personally, I'm just a dude in the 21st century, and like a lot of dudes, we, you know, watch TV, we go out and do things and go on vacations and stuff like that. I personally am not a sports fan, so you probably won't see any sports content. Sorry if y'all want that, but I do like sci-fi stuff. I'm really big into sci-fi, so I'll watch Star Wars, I'll watch Star Trek. I love The Expanse, I love Battlestar Galactica. So I might have comment videos on those types of things. You'll probably see some videos, live shots, or I try to do a live stream. But I go to C2E2 every year, which is the Chicago Comic and Entertainment Exposition, and I've been going there for over a decade now, and I just absolutely love going to that every year, and it's so much fun. If you guys ever get a chance to go, if you're ever in the Chicagoland area, hit up C2E2. It's coming March 31st, April 1st and 2nd, so like in 2 weeks. There's going to be 40,000 people at McCormick Place. Get in there and see that at least once in your life. If you have any it's not just about comic books, all right? I'm not a comic book fan. I read some comic books, but I'm not a huge comic book dude. It's just everything, every genre. I mean, I've seen people who dress up as Laverne and Shirley, okay? It's just like, really? It's anything. Any kind of entertainment, any kind of comics, just go. Just do yourself a favor and go, because it is really that cool. And I've been going there for, like I said, about decades. So it's like, I'm going to be there, so I'll probably try to take my camera, get some content, maybe post some videos on that. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. I think you guys will enjoy it too, because I know that like when I first started going to C2E2, the first thing I did was go to YouTube and look at videos of what other people did when they were there. So I'm going to be trying to, capture that, and I'll post videos as much as I can. In addition to the sci-fi stuff, that also makes me a tech geek. So I'm also kind of big on tech gadgets, and well, really it's more along the lines of just what can I spend my money on that my wife doesn't know about. Sorry. Okay. So anyway, I like tech gadgets, and I will, probably be purchasing some throughout the course of my YouTube tenure, and I will be sure to talk about them as well in videos. So they'll be in there, and also technology that's relevant for people my age, Gen Xers. I understand that people who are my age are going to be far too involved in taking care of families, taking care of your kids, and getting to soccer practice and all that jazz. I get that. I get that. You don't have time to read up on the best camera or the best phone or the best microphone or the best whatever. If I can help, I will. I'm not saying I'm a pro. I'm not saying I'm some expert. But if I can help, I will. So that's probably going to be something that I'll bring in there. The tech that is relevant to Gen Xers. In addition to that, I also am a person of faith. So you will probably see some content related to faith-based topics. Maybe not a whole lot. I don't know yet. I'm not really sure, but I have a group of friends that I attend church with. We get together in small groups. We have wonderful, meaningful conversation. Again, I don't want to make the channel controversial. That's not my point. My point is to just provide good content, good entertainment. And hopefully enrich people's lives. That's really the goal. So it may include some, content on church or small groups, maybe some Bible studies that we do, maybe some interesting thing that I learned in a study of a particular portion of Scripture I think might be relevant to you guys. I'm gonna add that. If you don't want to watch it, then don't watch it. I think you should, but hey, it's up to you. And then also, there's also, Christian-based media out there that I think is absolutely phenomenal. We have The Chosen, which is now just wrapping up its third season, and it is an absolutely phenomenal show, and it is life-changing for a lot of people. And the thing is it's completely crowdfunded, so it's not like based on some studio that's making this, in Hollywood. It's crowdfunded. It's paid for by people like you and like me. You know, we put this we put this together. We put this money together for these people to make this story for us, so that we can better understand who Jesus was. And I think that was just incredible. The work that they did on the show so far has been incredible, and I highly recommend that too. So you might see some content on that. And then, of course, I'm also probably going to be, having some men's type topics, more geared towards dudes. I'm sure ladies you're more than welcome to watch it too. But, for the guys out there, my four B's, beards, bourbon, barbecue, and beer. I love barbecue. I love to get my smoker going. I love craft beers. I love making beer. You might even get some videos on making beer. Who knows? Maybe I'll try it out. I'll try to video while I'm making beer. But it's an awful slow process, and I'm sure you don't want to watch a little bubbler bubbling. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, I'll try to get some videos on something like that too, if you guys want it. But yeah, so beards, bourbon, barbecue, brews, that's my thing. I love that stuff too, especially in the summertime. You'll probably get more videos on that during the summertime. And of course, I'm also going to be doing, speaking of like summertime and warmer weather, I'm also a pretty avid gardener. Again, something that I got from my grandparents. So what you'll probably find is some videos on some basic gardening techniques. I follow a lot of YouTube gardeners. Shout out to all you guys out there. You do a phenomenal job. I would love to be where you are someday. I'm not even sure if I'm allowed to talk about these people. Like the M.I. Gardner and the Rusted Garden Homestead. It's like, holy cow, these people are at the top of their game in providing meaningful content to all of us people out here who want to be better gardeners, and I want to provide that content too. So me being in the Midwest, I have a certain zone that I'm in. I'm in zone 5B, so my vegetable gardening is going to be different than somebody who is growing down in zone 7 or zone 8. So it might be relevant to some people, even though you may have already seen it on other channels. I hope that I will be able to provide some unique content that will be useful for you. So you're going to see some gardening stuff for sure. Planting seeds, getting the plants out to the garden, getting the gardens ready for the spring, which is, I should be doing that now instead of making a video, to be honest with you. So there will be gardening topics, landscaping topics. I'm just now getting into like mowing my lawn and like being like, really anal about it. So, putting down the right nutrients and adding sand and leveling it and all that good jazz. And I'm not good at it. So you're going to see me fail. Just so you know, I'm going to have some failures, but I am going to get better at it. So if you want to watch a dismal failure at landscaping, get better at it, watch those videos for sure. I also do, like I said before, remodeling around the house, fixing up the house, that sort of thing. And I'm also planning on doing some hardscaping around the house, getting some concrete blocks put in, building a deck, that sort of thing. I need to build a deck for my barbecue area. I'll actually make a video and I'll show you my barbecue area so you can see what it looks like. It looks like an abysmal mess right now. But it does the trick. It smokes meat. It doesn't matter where it's smoking meat as long as the meat gets smoked right. Am I right? It still tastes good. It doesn't matter where it's smoked at. But anyway, I want to make something nicer for it because I want it to be a little more professional, a little nicer. So what you're going to be seeing is the build-up of making something nice. And maybe if I make video at the same time I'm doing the work, it may kick me in the butt a little bit to get the work done. Because I'm also wanting to provide content for all of you. So, yeah, I'm going to be building a deck. I'm going to be putting in some more hardscaping, some stone work and stuff like that, and mulching and trying to make my house a little prettier. I also want to do some more outdoor lighting because I am a huge fan of LED lighting. And I think that anybody who has like all those custom LED setups on the outside of their house with like the strip lighting and the mood lighting and all that good shit, it's just beautiful, right? It just makes the atmosphere of a person's home just amazing. So I'm going to be talking about some different lighting, outdoor and indoor. How can I better light the environment that I'm in, and adding outdoor lighting. And I was just talking with somebody the other day about adding some permanent Christmas lights to the outside of my house because I am absolutely tired of getting up on a 2-story ladder multiple times in a day, and in 2 days, and in 3 days, and putting up lights, and putting up more lights, and then fixing the lights, and then fixing a bulb, and then putting the lights back up because the wind blew them down. It's a mess. I hate doing that, but I love having the lights up. So I'm looking into getting the Govee system. I welcome any advice if you have a better system out there, because I'm looking to do it on a budget, but I'm also looking to get a permanent light setup that I can control from either a laptop or a phone or whatever. And I'd like for it to be, be able to sync to music, so I can, have music playing as well. I work for a outdoor displays company, so I have access to a lot of outdoor things. Excuse me, both outdoor displays and sound equipment, and I think that will be useful in setting that stuff up. So I will hopefully make some videos on that if I can get that stuff. It's been sold out for a while now, and I want to get it installed hopefully this year. So if I do that, you will definitely see some content on that. If I do not get that done this year, I will be adding some other landscape type lighting around my garden, around my pool area, around my barbecue area, and around the deck area when I actually get the deck built. So I've got a lot of things planned for this year, and I thought, why not take you guys all along on the ride for it? So I hope you will like and subscribe to my channel, and keep me in mind when you want to watch something, and check out all my videos. Hopefully I will have another one up very soon. All right? So you guys take care and have a great rest of your day.